Flight boss, bitch. For sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Terry Smooth, your little Archangel Uriel, and Flight boss here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now we're going to talk about no hate loss. Yeah, no hatred loss. Now you can go to my previous video when I talk about Scorpios, Aries, and Virgos, and that video is called No Love Loss, because those are the three signs that lack the energetic force of Venus. Now right now in this segment we're going to talk about the three signs that lack the energetic force of Mars, which is Taurus, Libra, and Cancer. Because Mars falls in Cancer, and Mars is away, is debilitated in Taurus and Libra. Now, before we get into anything, this is going to be for my new subscribers. I want to break this down before we get into the actual segment. Now, here's the thing: everything has a directional path. So let's talk about planets and their exaltations and things of that nature. Now, when a planet is at home, think about it. Think about it like when you at home. You could be lazy, you could relax, not do nothing, be comfortable, but you also could be active and get up and clean everything in the goddamn house, or have something to work on, or have a project, all things within a home. So you see how a planet was in a home, how X when it's in a home, it don't want, same way you don't want nobody outside coming in telling you what you can do or what you can't do when you're within a home. So this is where a planet could shine the brightest. This is the comfortability. This is when a planet could be its true self. Now when a planet is away, it's debilitated. That means it's in the opposite sign. It's outside and away somewhere. So I like to say when a planet is debilitated, I like to say it's at work. Because look at yourself when you at work, right? You at a place that you don't want to be. You away. You in a place that you don't necessarily want to be, but you have to use the tools that is there to use in order to get the job done. Now, what are you at work for? Because you have some type of duty or obligation, right? So within that work field, you end up getting a paycheck. So there's a gift and a curse to everything. So when a planet is debilitated, yeah, think about yourself when you at work. You're not going to be your true self and act like how you act when you at home. Some people do to a certain degree, but you still have to do things in the work field that you wouldn't do at the home. That sets off everything. And then, for an example, you may let a little bit of yourself out at times, and you may not, but you're orchestrating yourself at work. And then at work, you have to put your actions to work. You see what I'm saying? You have to actually do something with your actions, because the sun is how you act, how you see, and what you're consciously aware of, and what you view things on. So when your sun, or any planet for that matter, when any planet is away, it has to do things that it doesn't necessarily want to do, but it has to do it to the best ability that it can in order to get the job done. So it's putting itself to work. It's putting itself to test. It's relating. You see what I'm saying? It's relating to things that may not be on the same side of its on, in order to understand itself a lot better and see what kind of limits and what kind of parameter it can reach and wherever it's at. So it's at work. It's putting things to work. It's orchestrating your circumstances and situations that you have to utilize yourself in, other than you being at home. This is why they say when you at home, and then this is why they say come outside, because this is how people know you from within the home. Now you have to put your actions and your viewpoint, you have to put them to work now, put them to action in places that you don't necessarily want to be because you at somebody else's house or at work or things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? Now, let's get to a planet being exalted and a planet falling. Now, when a planet is exalted, I like to say this is like where a kid is at Disneyland, or a person going out, a musician in a music studio, a designer in an art class, a director in a film studio. Exaltation is where a person always want to be. Now this is where imagination, this is where the ego is at. You see what I'm saying? So the exaltation. Remember, you could burn yourself out, because if you're doing something that you always wanted to do, you could not want to do anything else at the moment. So you could burn yourself out. You could over exhaust yourself. So any planet that you have that may be in the exaltation area, right? You can burn yourself out in that area. So remember that. You could burn yourself out. And I can speak on this more than anybody, because, for an example, I have my sun is in Aries, so 17 degrees Aries, so it's exalted. The sun is exalted, and my Mars is 29. Some sites say 29, some sites say 28, but that doesn't really matter. It's still a cusp. My Mars is 29 degrees Capricorn. So both of my sun and my Mars is exalted. You see what I'm saying? So when we look at the sun is Your actions, the way you act, how you see things, and what you're consciously aware of. I could overexhaust myself in that area of life. You know what I'm saying? My actions, I could overexhaust my actions. I can act too aggressively or too much energy. You know what I'm saying? The things I'm consciously aware of, right? I can overexhaust myself in that area to the point that I think I'm only consciously aware. You see what I'm saying? Or not only, I think I'm only consciously aware, but overexhaust myself into being consciously aware. You know what I'm saying? Overexhaust myself into viewpoints and different viewpoints and having new viewpoints and things of that nature and viewing things. I can overexhaust myself into viewing things in general to the point that I'm not even necessarily experiencing the experience at hand. I'm too busy viewing the experience without experiencing it. You see what I'm saying? And then my Mars. Mars is intent, willpower, passions, and motivations and desires. It's exalted in this area. So I can over exhaust myself into trying to gain structure in my life in some type of way, or dealing with status, or trying to be known or seen, and doing it in a communicative or social way, or using technology. I can over exhaust myself in that area. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be careful with your exalted planets, because you got a lot of energy there, but you could burn yourself out. And overdoing something always look like overkill. Always look like you're going too far or something like that. So that goes into the negative side of things. So people won't look at that. This is why Leos can get attention better than Aries, because Aries will go too far with it to the point it looks distasteful. You see what I'm saying? Now, when a planet is falling, I like to say a planet is asleep, because after it exhausts itself, it has to sleep. You see what I'm saying? And rest up and recharge. So when a planet is asleep, think about it when you're asleep. You know what I'm saying? When you're asleep, you go into the yin realm. So you in all the dimensions. You're doing things that you may not be capable of doing in this realm, right? But you understand your place, you understand your position, and everything may seem like an illusion at times. And sometimes you may think you're overly capable of doing things at times, and then sometimes you be over passive and may think you're not capable of doing that at times. So when a planet is asleep, that's like a planet being unaware. It's not woke. It's not conscious. So when you have a planet that's asleep, you have to look at it like that. The planet is not conscious. You know what I'm saying? If you got Mercury that's in a fallen sign, let's say that's Pisces, then Mercury is thinking, communicating, and analyzing, right? Mercury is sleep. It's not woke, so it's talking in its sleep. All the ideas and communicating is in its sleep. So it's going to be talking and thinking and a bunch of ideas that's not about reality. You see what I'm saying? When it's in Sagittarius, it's at work. So it's being forced to think and communicate and analyze about things in reality, even though it's hard to do that because it's naturally thinking and communicating and analyzing about things that's not in reality. So it's being put to work. You see what I'm saying? When it's away. When it's asleep, it's just not doing that at all. It has to do it in some type of action. Now, the sun. If the sun falls, the sun is your actions, the way you act and how you see things. The sun falls in Libra. So what happens here is Libras lack action sometimes. They lack the ability to act on something, to be consciously aware of something, to have a viewpoint on something. So a lot of times they cling on other people's viewpoints, what other people are consciously aware of. Sometimes they may not be consciously aware of. They may be getting taken advantage of based upon the relationship of another person's actions. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times Libras like to get led by other people's actions. But, see, it's a gift and a curse to everything. If the sun represents your actions and the way you act and how you see things in general, then their actions is predicated towards Libra archetype. So they rather act on thinking. They rather act on communicating. You see what I'm saying? They rather be consciously aware of relating. You see what I'm saying? So, and then it's sleep. So sometimes Libras think they can do things that they really can't do in reality when it comes to Libra sun signs. They make some of their actions. So this what makes them cheaters. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes they are consciously sometimes they are consciously aware of other people's actions, even when another person ain't aware of their own actions. So Libra can know when someone is doing something wrong or going down the wrong path or not thinking correctly. or not having an effective idea, not and could give somebody an advice of how that person's actions could affect everyone else. You know what I'm saying? It start to draw into their archetype of how they got balance and fairness in general. But let's get into the motherfucker no motherfucking hate loss. Now, this is why it's no hate loss. Now, let's start with Taurus. Now, Taurus, no hate loss. Now, they like the energetic force of Mars. So, you know, all three, these three signs, Taurus, Libra, and Cancer, are not haters. They are not haters at all. You know what I'm saying? So on the flip side, where you got Aries, Scorpios, and Virgos can be haters. They can be haters. Taurus and Taurus, Libras, and Taurus, Libras, and motherfucking Cancers are not haters. You know what I'm saying? Now they like the energetic force of Mars. So here's the thing right here. Now here's their problems. They can overexhaust themselves in hating, or they could be just super passive and don't like hating at all. And it can play into three different archetypes. Cancers may be passive in a comedic way, but if they do have to get into hatred, they could be fucking war angels, war gods. You know what I'm saying? And they will use all their emotions and feelings and vibrations. They will use all that to shape it and form it into some type of hate and reality in some type of way. So they will use they support system and who they connected with to also apply them on a way to make sure that that relationship get carried out. And relationships ain't always good. That's a bad relationship. See what I'm saying? Now Libras a lot of times may be passive on the hate. The way they be passive is they want everything to be fair, everything to be balanced. You know what I'm saying? People to relate in some way, shape, or form, to agree to disagree. But when they get over aggressive and they hate, they could get over aggressive in their hate due to sharp tongue, sharp communication, actions, taking action before thinking. A lot of times, so they'll take off on your ass before thinking. That's when they jump into that Aries opposite nature a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because each sign can jump into their opposite nature when they back against the wall. You know what I'm saying? Because this is things that they don't naturally like to do, but they always get forced in a situation where they back slowly, start going towards the wall, and they find themselves having to do that attribute to get out of that circumstance and situation. Same way I'm an Aries. Sometimes things I don't want to do, sometimes I have to communicate. I have to reach out. I have to talk. You see what I'm saying? And that's the same way vice versa Libras. After a while, sometimes when they back against the wall, they have to take action. They have to say fuck talking, fuck related. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that for each sign. We can go down the motherfucking line. Now, but for the Libra archetype, yeah, when they jump into their over aggressiveness, that's when no more talking could be, when they back against the wall. No more talking could be had. There's no more relating. There's no more compromising. The situation don't even seem like it could be fair, even if something is being tried. So that's when a Libra can go overexhaust themselves into hating your ass, and they will use all their relationships to hate your ass with, and they will use their motherfucking verbal abuse on your ass because I don't. Libras can fight, but even if you can whoop a Libra's ass, that don't matter when it comes to their motherfucking mouth. You not getting past that motherfucking mouth. If you could beat a Libra ass, I don't care how many times you beat their ass, you would never feel good because what they said. So really, they whooped your ass. They say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Shit. Words become physical. We in the age of fucking Aquarius right now. Y'all motherfuckers better get with this shit. Fucking Libra cut your motherfucking ass out, cut your fucking bones in half. And they ain't even have to say much. They just knew how to artistically, beautifully, sharply shape that motherfucking word into a fucking sword, motherfucker. For real, nigga, you thinking it's a heart coming at your ass? It's a flaming sword. Cut your ass deep, nigga. Telling you. Now, so yeah, that's when they can step into their negative nature. Now, Tauruses, how they be passive on hatred a lot of times. They stay calm, cool, collected. They stay reserved. They sit there and let you talk. They'll let you do a lot of talking. You might even force them to even say one or two words, but they're gonna sit there and practicalize. They'll make you think what you want to think. You know what I'm saying? Until it's time to actually take course into reality, actually take action in reality. Then that's when you're gonna see how hard it is for them to budge. And then what you fail to realize with Earth signs, but Tauruses in general, what you fail to realize is a lot of your hoot raw, a lot of your talking and loud talking and stuff like that, they don't even budge from that. And then, but you, in your mind, you coming up with imaginations and shit, thinking that that's what's, you're creating your aura for them. Like you're creating some type of scare tactic for them. You're creating some type of fear. So you'll be in your head doing all these theatrics, especially water signs. You'll do all these theatrics to an earth sign, especially a Taurus. You'll do all these theatrics to them. Fire sign, you express yourself and do all these type of expressions like you acting like you crazy. Water signs, you'll throw all these emotional feelings around and try to make somebody believe something. Air signs, you'll do all this talking to try to get somebody the idea. And when you're not seeing this Taurus or this other earth sign, but mainly Taurus, when you're not seeing them budge, you thinking you got the advantage. So you thinking when you're ready to take action, you thinking that's you got the upper hand. But when they show your ass that the words didn't budge and whatever action you about to do ain't about to budge them and they stand firm, that's when your ass start getting nervous a little bit. Like, hold on. What I was just doing must didn't work. So your ass starts second guessing. See, now that's the passive energy Tauruses got when they like Mars. So don't take Tauruses for granted just because they're not saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? Don't just think you're gonna whoop off in a Taurus ass because they're not saying. Don't just think you're about to take advantage. It ain't that they're not saying nothing. Like I said, when we talk about the left brain, air signs and earth signs are left brain. Water and fire are right brain. When we talk about right brain, that's dealing with the yin realm and the feelings. When we talk about the left brain, that's talking about that's talking about the external realm and the thinking. But see, there's a yin and yang to everything. So there's a yin and yang to your right brain, a yin and yang to your left brain. The yin to your right brain will be water. So they go within with their feelings, which is emotions, and then the right brain yang will be fire. So they take their inner feelings in the internal realm and bring it outside into the yang, into the external. Now when we talk about the left brain, air is the yang of the left brain. So they take their thoughts and outside of them, right, and consciously and logically express it on the outside, right? Earth signs is the yin of the left brain. So they take what's outside of them externally, right, and process it on the inside, right? So they think on the inside. So left brain is thinking, right brain is feeling. You know what I'm saying? You have the yin, which is going in. So you have the in right brain, and you have the in left brain. They go within with their thinking. So earth go within with their thinking. So just because you don't see no expression, or just because you don't see no reaction, don't be thinking that you got the overhand or anything. You fuck around and get your ass beat. You know what I'm saying? Fucking around with a Taurus like that. But for the most part, yeah, Tauruses have to have like a fire moon for them to be aggressive. That make aggressive Tauruses. If they have a fire moon like Meek Mill, he's a Taurus sun, but he has a Leo moon. Wale, he's a Taurus sun, but he has a Virgo moon. You see what I'm saying? Travis Scott, he's a Taurus sun, but he has an Aries moon. You see what I'm saying? Pusha T, Taurus sun, Aries moon. You see what I'm saying? Look at these characters, right? They're smooth, calm, cool, collected, and stable. But when you listen to their tracks, they got you hear the passion. You can hear the passion. You can hear the vision. And every now and then, you see them express themselves. You see that fire burn through reality, just burn through their sun sign, and then you see them express themselves. But they're always going to express themselves due to a fact of practicality, reality, or making sense out of something. They're not going to express themselves off of something that's not correlated to reality, just based upon, it's like me. I'm double fire. So I express myself, but I'm not expressing myself in practicality or things that make sense or things that's in reality. A lot of times I express myself into shit that's not in reality. Shit talk about spirit. I'm expressing my shit and shit that expressing myself about shit that don't even make sense. You see what I'm saying? But you feel the spirit. You see it. So it makes sense in the yin realm. See, with the sun sign being in the earth and the moon being in fire, or the moon being in water also, if your moon in water also, then a lot of times that comes through your earth sign and you get expressive. But you might, with the water moon, you get you express your emotions about stability, reality, and practicality, and your feelings about the world we in. When your sun is in earth and your moon is in water. When your sun is in earth and your moon is in fire, you express your passion and your visions and your intuitions about reality and practicality and what's in reality with the moon and fire and the sun and earth. So mainly with Taurus right here, but this Taurus is in general. You know what I'm saying? That's how they get passive. Now, they're not haters. You see what I'm saying? Now, how they overexhaust they hate, right? How they overexhaust they hate, they may take something in reality, do something in physical reality. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not a lot of talking involved. And if it is talking involved, then you force them to that level to talk because they rather take action first. You know what I'm saying? So for an example, you go cheat on a Taurus or something like that. Okay, Taurus is not gonna have a lot of feelings about it, right? So if they care about you, you cheating ain't really the necessary thing that they care about. It's the circumstance and the situation that's changing is what's going to be cared about or not. And then they're not going to necessarily want to talk and argue with your meaning and reasoning behind your cheating. No, they're just going to cheat also. Or if you're in a relationship with a Taurus and you put them in a situation where you become a nag or become a leech or become that way, then they're not gonna talk to you to make things better. They're gonna take action to make things better. So if cheating is one of the things in their head, they're gonna cheat. If to stop giving you money or to stop supporting you in some type of way, then is gonna do it. Then they're gonna do it. See, an air sign may say something like, "Well, I might as well go cheat. I might as well go fuck with this person." Or an air sign may want to talk about the problem. Libra may want to talk about the problem, like, "Well, okay, this is what we could do. This is what we need to do to get the relationship straight." You see what I'm saying? Um, Fire signs may want to express the problem in some type of way. Like, so that's like, let's argue about it or let's get it out, or this is what you're going to do. Let's do it and let's burn this bridge. A water sign is going to want to emotionalize with it. It's going to want to see, okay, if this is this really the vibration? Do you really feel that way to do that? Or do I really feel this way to do that? If so, then all right, let's just come to a common agreement. We must need to separate, or the feeling ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? So that can be expressed. Earth signs, it has to take a shape, way, or form. So there's not going to be a conversation like the air. There's not going to be no expressive debate like fire. There's not going to be no feeling the vibe like water. It's going to be straight take action. What's the shape and form of it? So it's going to be, okay, I need to cheat then to get this through this person's head. I'm not going to have a conversation with this person like, because this person not going to listen. That's earth sign coming to a practical conclusion. I'm not going to sit here and express and try to argue because I don't feel that's exhausting. What's the point of that? That's earth sign coming making sense out of something. You know what I'm saying? From the fire. And then last but not least the water. I'm not gonna sit here and bear all my emotions because emotions don't mean nothing. We can't make nothing out of it. We can't make no water. We can't make no money off of emotions. We can't make nothing out of this emotion. Actually, this emotion is not even worth being felt. It actually brings me down. It doesn't make sense to feel that way. So I just need to I need to separate from this person and just show this person. Boom, that's air coming. That's earth coming to a practical conclusion, making sense out of something, making something out of a shape, way, or form, taking action in reality. You see what I'm saying? So that's how Tauruses will overexhaust their hatred. You see what I'm saying? They would actually do something. If it's something physical, they would do something in reality physically. You know what I'm saying? If it's something mental, they would do that mental physically. Like if they thinking in their head, man, this person must think I'm gonna stick around. I'm gonna cheat to let this person know I ain't gonna stick around. So they're not gonna tell you that and work through it like an air. They're not gonna express that and just to see what you would do like fire. They're not gonna feel the vibe to see if it's emotionally cool or not like water. They're gonna actually do the physicality thing to see what physical shape or form or situation come out of it. That's how earth signs do it. So we need to understand this too. We live on a planet where this planet energetic force is majority earth. So earth signs rule this planet in so many words. You see what I'm saying? So keep that in mind also. Now, this is how you know this is the only time you can force them into some type of hatred. Other than that, there's no hate loss, because they don't understand the natural mechanisms of hating. Now, I did Taurus, I did Libra. Hold on, I think I just did a sign I wasn't even supposed to do. Now, talking about Cancers. So if I just did another sign that I was supposed to do, let's talk about fucking no, I said Cancers. Yeah, they overexhaust their motherfucking selves. They use all their emotions. They use their family. They use everything, all their passion. And they hate you to the death. A Cancer will hate you to the motherfucking death if you put their back against the wall. You know what I'm saying? It's no hate lost, because they don't know what hate is. Same way when I was talking about Aries, Scorpios, and Virgos. There's no love lost, because they don't really know what love is. So when they step into that energetic force, sometimes they feel like they have to overdo it, or sometimes they feel like they have to fall all the way completely back. And within that orb in the middle is all the frustrations and situations that they go through in their life. And vice versa for Cancers, Tauruses, and Libras. You know what I'm saying? It's no, y'all don't even understand really hate. So when y'all step into that hate mechanism, sometimes y'all get forced in a situation where y'all feel like y'all have to overexpress hate and go too far with it. And then vice versa, it's situations where y'all stay far away from it. Stay far from any type of hating environment, hating type of situation, hating vibration in general. And through that orb in between those two, that's the situations and the frustrations y'all got to deal with in your life. You know what I'm saying? That balance. Knowing how to not go too far or go too far sometimes, and dropping controllers and shit, and knowing how to take several seats sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all don't understand the hate mechanism. So a lot of times people look at y'all like, I don't want to say lack motivation, but sometimes people look at y'all like y'all lack intent for your own will. Because, you know, Mars is the planet of willpower. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at signs like Cancer, Libras, and Tauruses, you're going to get a lot of people in y'all lives that say y'all lack will. Or I ain't going to say lack will, but that's what it is. But it might be shaped and formed in some other kind of words or some other kind of shit. Like, for an example, for a Libra, it may play out in your life where you're helping someone else's actions. You're helping someone else get from point A to point B before you get your just due. Then when it's time to get your just due, you don't get it 100%. Now, Cancers, you'll find yourself making yourself 100% part of someone else's organization, or absorbing all your, because water likes to make itself, it likes to connect and make itself a part of something. So you are the wave though. So anything you make yourself a part of, you become that wave. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference between each water sign, but we talk about Cancer here. So with this, with Cancer, water in general likes to connect and likes to absorb and make itself a part of things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times you will connect yourself to other people's initiative goals, and because Cardinal is initiating and creating, so you will find yourself, water like to connect. This is how Cancers like to initiate and create their emotions and feelings, and they can create their own thing, but they have to connect with something and take shape and form of something to connect to. So if they have a group of friends or a group of family that they can take the shape and form is, the Cancer has the ability to become the leader, has the ability to become the wave, just wash out everything it took shape and form of and become the actual shape and form of whatever organization or whatever it's a part of. But see, in that little process of doing that, you may appear as a person that's helping someone else's cause more than your cause. Absorbing yourself completely in someone else's cause instead of your cause. So, see, in the workings, you'll be seen as a person that lack your own will. But your will, period, just your will outwill everybody else's will, just because you lack Mars. So just that key again. You feel like you have to overdo Mars type things. So to you, you're just playing out your archetype. To others, it'll like, damn, this motherfucker is aggressive, or damn, this motherfucker is passionate when you want to go there, or when you're back against the wall. You see what I'm saying? But for the most part, this is what it make people look at you like you lack will. You see what I'm saying? Now, because you'll make yourself a part of someone else's cause, even though you'll become their cause. You actually have become the face of them, they cause. But see, it's tricky. It's tricky here. It's tricky here. You'll find yourself not getting 100% like Libra, but in an emotional way. Because when it's time for you to get your just due, people are not there emotionally the same way for you. So you'll find yourself getting 50% of what you just put in for that to even look like what it was supposed to look like. Then when it's time for you to get your just due, you don't get your 100%. You see what I'm saying? And then the same way for the Tauruses, you could put all your earth energy into someone else's will. So it'll play out in your life like you're putting all your money or all your reality into someone else's talent or into someone else's creativity. You know what I'm saying? Or supporting someone else. You're the stability. You're the foundation that this person is falling back on. This person is leaning on. But you're taking all your actions, everything you're consciously aware of, all your stability, all your stableness, all your fixated nature, which makes you stable, and all your money and things and material, right? And beneficials, and all your values, and you're putting all that into someone else. So when that person kickstart, right, and get a kickstart, and now they can be their own foundation. When it's time for you to receive the 100% that you just gave, you don't get it. You're not gonna get it in money. You're not gonna get it in stability. You're not gonna get it in the foundation. Then a person go as far as to not even giving it to you in friendship. So you have to be careful. Tauruses, Libras, and Cancers, because y'all, this is why people look at y'all like y'all lack your own will. Because it's not that y'all lack your own will, it's just y'all see other people's will, and y'all just want to be a part of that because y'all are not haters. There's no hate loss. Y'all not looking at things at a perspective as oh, I don't like what this person doing, so I hate it. Y'all look at it as a perspective, oh, I don't like what this person doing because this is something I need to be doing. They reminded me what I need to be doing. You see what I'm saying? So if you are a friend to a Taurus, Libra, or Cancer, don't do them like that, because they're not looking at it in the way that you're looking at it. Like you're looking at it in a way like damn, this person ain't got no will, or this person ain't trying to do nothing for themselves. They trying to do everything for me. Oh, it must be a hidden agenda behind this. This person must need me for something. Nah, the Cancer, Taurus, or Libra is not looking at it like that. They're looking at it like okay, this, because first of all, I can't speak for Cancer, same way I couldn't speak for Virgo in the last video about the Mars aspect when it kicks in. So Cancer, they're ruled by the moon, so their emotions and feelings will kick in for them to judge. But as far as Libras and Tauruses, Venus will kick in for them to judge. You see what I'm saying? So when it's no hate loss, when there's no hatred there, they overcompensate with love and relativeness and trying to relate in some type of way and compromise with you in some type of way, even if there is hate there for Tauruses and Libra. Now, as far as Cancer, can't speak that much. Then Mars falls here. You know what I'm saying? Also, so, you know what I'm saying? Not only the other two signs lack Mars, but at least they have Venus to make up for it. You know what I'm saying? So they can agree to disagree or compromise with your hatred or your hate for you. Cancers can't do that. You see what I'm saying? Once you get on the hatred side or of a Cancer, or a Cancer feel like you hate them, then Mars plays in, and then there's, even though there's no hate, so they don't hate you, but now they don't even got Venus to even compromise with your hate. They got the moon here. So now their emotions and their feelings is involved with it now. So they taking all their emotions and feelings and vibrations and shaping that with hatred. So I can't even say they would even compromise. Cancers won't even compromise with you. See what I'm saying? It'll go to an extreme. It'll go a little bit more extreme than the Taurus and Libra. Libras and Tauruses could be a little bit more likable than Cancers when it comes to anything that got something to do with hatred. You see what I'm saying? But would a make, but on like a lighter note, would a, let's say jealousy, would it make a Libra jealous because there's no hate loss, but would it make them jealous a little bit and seeing others in a better relationship than them, seeing others seeing others get more attention than them? Because remind you, the sun falls here, so the sun sleep. So in Libra, the sun sometimes the sun feel like it can just jump out and fly and get all their attention, and sometimes it look like it can't, so it has to look by examples to get attention. So it get attention due to communicating and who is in relationships with it, relating in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Because the sun is asleep. So just Libras in general, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times when they see people who are in better relationships with them, know how to get along, people who got more friends than them. So this would make a Libra sometimes feel like they need to be loners. You know what I'm saying? And need to be to themselves sometimes. So this would have put them into jealous states. Cancer, would it make a Cancer jealous? Seeing someone who have more camaraderie than them, aka like a more home based than them, a more family, a more comfortable. If this person seemed more comfortable than them, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this person looks too smooth. This person too comfortable. Let me shake this up. That's what a Cancer feel like. This will make a Cancer jealous. Another person who act too comfortable to them. Oh, or their situation is way better than them, or their family, or even a relationship. This is what they share with Libras a little bit too. If they see people who in better relationships than them, also, this will make a Cancer jealous. But more home, family, relative life, or they can see you know how to relate to more people better. You know how to bring more people together better. You know how to connect more people better. That'll make a Cancer jealous. You know what I'm saying? And would it make a Taurus jealous? A Taurus jealous. Seeing someone who has probably more material than them, whose foundation who's more stable, more practical. They look like they got their situation stable with little to less words, little to less emotions, and little to less expressions. It just look like this person got their shit together. It just look like their mate not gonna cheat on them. It just look like their kids love them. It just look like they got all their financial things together. You know what I'm saying? This would make a Taurus jealous of somebody else. Those type of energies. You know what I'm saying? Taurus would be like, damn, what make this person so stable and they don't even look like they have to get dirty or get their hands dirty? What make this person too goody two shoes? This person ain't got it all together. So Taurus will want to shake something up with that person. Want to be around that person or do some practical things around that person to see a crack in that earth, to see a crack in that rock, to see a crack in that building. You know what I'm saying? Then that would satisfy the Taurus. That would make the Taurus feel, yeah, I knew something was up. I knew they was doing that to get this. Or I knew they was sucking dick to get that. Or I knew they was working this long to get that. Or I knew they was doing this behind closed doors. That's why their relationship looked like this on the outside. You know what I'm saying? That'll make the Taurus feel comfortable again. Like, oh shit, okay. You know what I'm saying? I know I ain't the only one sitting back and reserving the wrong shit. I know I'm observing. I know I'm making sense out of something. And come on now. You know what I'm saying? I fucks with y'all Tauruses, man. I fucks with y'all. I fucks with every sign. I am every sign. I'm every fucking element. I might say I'm Aries to y'all a lot of times and shit like that. Shit, but I'm every sign. I don't even clean none of that shit no more. Long time ago, I stopped cleaning that shit. But when I'm out relating in the world, you have to, I don't say you have to, but it's good to relate that, because even though at times, like I just said, when I'm consciously aware, I like to say I'm every sign, right? But I can go out into the world, right? And I might try to play an air role, play a water role, play an earth role, right? And it might not work for me as well as someone else. So I'll be pushing out a distasteful energy. They'll be like, what this nigga doing? He talking too much. You don't know what he talking about. Or did emotion. What this nigga doing? He in his feelings, but he too deep in his emotional. So he shouldn't be expressing all his emotions like that. You know what I'm saying? And then when we get to the, see, that was air, water. Then we get to the earth. Earth. Oh, this nigga trying to be practical and trying to make sense, but he ain't even making sense. That's not even reality what he talking about. You know what I'm saying? So I will reach those boundaries and limits when and then that'll remind myself like, oh, hold on. But remember, motherfucker, you fire, nigga. You still gotta still gotta be fire, nigga. But just by you understanding the other elements is half the battle. You see what I'm saying? Just half the battle. You know what I'm saying? So just knowing where everybody at and knowing your signs and knowing your energetic forces, and that's half the battle. You already won half the battle. You already done cut off half of the problems everybody around you is going through every day. You already cut that off for yourself just by knowing your energies and your elements. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's no hate loss. You know what I'm saying? Taurus, Cancers, and Libras are not haters. And if they do appear as haters, it's because they have been placed with their back against the wall at some point in time in their life. Or if the situation plays out like they're being a hater in that situation, it's because they're back against the wall in that circumstance or that situation. AKA, if we're talking about a Libra, you didn't push the Libra to a point of there's no more relating, no more compromising, no more talking. Action has to be taken. If you push the Taurus in a situation where, okay, there's no more building, there's no more actions that can be taken that I can receive from your dumb ass. I don't want to hear no more. I don't want to see no more. And the actions that you're taking, I don't want to see them kind of actions anymore. So I'm about to take action. You see what I'm saying? So that's when you put a Taurus in the situation, of going into full hatred. You see what I'm saying? And then a Cancer, you put a Cancer in a full hatred where, okay, now we can't even connect no more. There's no more way we can connect on any kind of level, emotionally. You done made me feel this way, so far off on that feeling in that the emotional water in the astral realm can never connect where yours at anymore. So that's just no more. So once it gets to that level with a Cancer, that's when it goes into pure hate. When the emotional vibration connection, like for an example, a Cancer can have a real vibe with someone, like based upon memory. So based upon memory, it can never truly be disconnected. You could grow up with someone, hating them your whole life. With a Cancer, that's a connection there. So that connection can never be detached. But that connection even though water is shapeless, formless, that shapeless and formless is doing a certain geometrical pattern with itself. How it's flowing with itself. So if it's in a hatred mechanism, like you hated someone your whole life, that's the connection you have with them. So a Cancer will be able to walk past a person that they was enemies with their whole life than a person that did something with them emotionally striking. You see what I'm saying? It's a difference. A Cancer can actually end up being cool and best friends with someone that they was fighting with their whole life because that's their connection. So as long as there's a connection there, something could be connected to something. A dot could be connected. Even a agree to disagree type of connection could be there, to the point that later on in life, you just walk past this person. You just know you hate each other, but there's not a situation where actions is taking course. Now, to take a Cancer into a hatred emotion is you emotionally struck them in a way where there can never be no connection. So that means you done something with them where they can even connect with you to be agree to disagree type of. So it always going to have to be a friction. It always have to be a friction. You see what I'm saying? Because you done something emotionally to this Cancer that their vibrations will always be fucked up around yours. So even when y'all are in the same area or same vibration where the water can even look like it could connect a little bit to your water, aka a circumstance situation that's accommodating where both of y'all gonna have to be in the same places at the same time. That's how it play out. So it even connect in a little bit, right? That's friction. The temperatures of the water is different. It's too different. So it's gonna cause friction of waters. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, that's when we can't even connect to energy of agreeing or disagreeing. There's always going to have to be some type of clash. And when you talk about, because it's just with the moon, you put a Cancer in a spot where they have to be on the opposite side of Mars, so they have to over aggressively go through Mars. So they do it more than any other Mars sign. And then on top of that, with the moon is manifesting, magic, imagination, creating. So all those feelings and emotions is a vibration. So a Cancer destroy you before even actually destroying you. you might get destroyed and crumble based upon the emotional vibration that they give you. You will feel it. Your heart will start pumping and shit. Your gut will sink in. You'll be like, damn, what the fuck is going on? And then you'll start dictating your actions around those feelings. So your actions will take course around those feelings. And to the outside looking in, it'll appear to others that you're afraid, or that you're running from something, or you're trying to escape the water. So then when a Cancer actually take action on that shape and form, you're going to appear like you're going to lose. See what I'm saying? Because see, water is sacred. Water is powerful. So Cancers don't know how they do this. Pisces and Scorpios don't even know nothing about this. Cancers don't know why they do this. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know how they're doing this. And they don't know the effect that they have on others. But that's what it is. Like water, and then the moon in it is involved. If you're on the opposite end of a Cancer, you're going to feel something before even actually feeling their wrath. Like, it's just something with water. Like, there's just something with it. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? You could be not scared. A person who's not afraid. But that water shape and form that's going to come and attack you, coming from the Cancer's energy, going to make your actions take a different course. And for some strange reason, for an example, if you was on a beach, you walking in water, right? You know not to go too far out, to walk too deep. Boom. If you got on some brand new shoes and you see a bunch of water puddles in on the street, you walk around it. You see what I'm saying? You just can't walk straight through it. It's just something with water. So when it's playing out through a person with strong water waves, cardinal water like Cancer, you can't walk. You just can't walk through it. So no matter how physically you walk, you try to beat a motherfucking, it's still a fit. You will beat a motherfucking Cancer that make you beat their ass. You could beat their ass into a pump, and then you could go home, and then you'll feel bad about it. Even if they deserved it, you will feel bad about it. It's just something about that motherfucking water. You can't necessarily crack through, like, not the cardinal water. You know what I'm saying? The fixed water, like Scorpio, go in and hide, like the scorpion. You know, it'll go hide, and ice glaciers will go deep. You might not see it in a brood. You know what I'm saying? It's more sacred, more strategic. Or this, when we say deep and dark, that don't mean Scorpios are evil heart, or like aggressive or hard. Like, you got some bitch ass Scorpios, some passive Scorpios. So the way they take their brooding and hiding is hiding, not wanting to face the situation, because that situation will transform them in some type of way. And then that situation don't even be that harsh, but they took it that deep. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of Scorpios be bitch ass motherfuckers too. That's what I'm saying. It's a gift and a curse to every fucking thing. Same way Aries. You got some Aries too. I was a bitch ass person in a lot of situations also. A lot of times you don't want to, as Aries, you don't want to take action. You don't want to overly aggressively use all your energy in something. Because sometimes you could just see, like, damn, if I was to actually use all my energy on this motherfucker right now, this person will have to kill me. You see what I'm saying? And once you could see that, and you could see that, you'd be like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want to act like that right now. I don't even want to act aggressive right now. You know what I'm saying? So another person might look at, when you do that, another person might look at it like, oh, this nigga a bitch ass person. They don't want to fight again. It's a bitch ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So it's a gift and a curse of everything. Man, nobody's exempt. Nobody's motherfucking exempt. For real. It's real shit. When you know yourself, you know that. So you know you know what situations to go for and what situations not to go for. And then that, once you know your energies, you dictate what to experience. So 9 times out of 10, you're not going through no dumbass situations anyway. Once you know yourself. You see what I'm saying? Like the most dumb situation you go through will be minor, be minuscule. You know what I'm saying? Something that is not even worth trying to go over exhaust and talk about to everybody, because it's a minor situation that ain't even nothing, so you can sit back and laugh about to yourself. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn, air, no hate lost, no hate, no hatred here, goddamn, ooh.